Ooh, see news, it's just Meghan folks doing it again and again. In a media landscape cluttered with vapid reality shows and scripted escapism, Harry and Meghan Sussex have once again proven why they remain cultural lightning rods, and why their latest venture with Netflix is a thunderclap of substance. Dropping unannounced yet impossible to ignore, the trailer for Masaka Kids: A Rhythm Within hit screens this week, and it's not just a film, it's a pulse. A 40-minute documentary short produced under their Archewell Productions banner, it spotlights the Masaka Kids Africana, a troupe of orphaned and vulnerable Ugandan youth who channel unimaginable hardship into electrifying performances of song and dance. Premiering on Netflix, December 9th, 2025, this isn't performative allyship or a glossy vanity project. It's raw, rhythmic testimony to resilience, joy, and the unyielding spirit of children who refuse to be defined by loss. And oh, how the haters are already squirming. Let's start with the trailer, because if visuals could heal, this one would mend 1,000 fractures. Clocking in at just over 2 minutes, it opens with the thrum of drums echoing across Uganda's sun-baked earth, young faces, some as young as 5, breaking into synchronized moves that defy gravity and grief. There's no overwrought narration spoon-feeding us inspiration. Instead, the kids speak for themselves. "We dance to forget the pain," says one boy, his grin splitting wide as he launches into a flip that would humble a Cirque du Soleil acrobat. Cut to rehearsals under thatched roofs, laughter piercing the humid air, and suddenly, you're not watching a documentary preview, you're feeling the beat in your bones. Directed by Michael Scheingraber, a filmmaker with a track record of amplifying African voices without the colonial gaze, the film promises an intimate portrait of how Masaka Kids Africana has evolved from a scrappy 2014 initiative into a global phenomenon. Over 1 million YouTube subscribers didn't happen by accident. These kids went viral not through algorithms, but through authenticity, their videos racking up billions of views by blending traditional Ugandan rhythms with contemporary flair. At its core, Masaka Kids. A Rhythm Within is about alchemy, the kind that turns trauma into triumph. Founded by Abraham Tekya, a Ugandan entrepreneur who spotted raw talent amid the rubble of poverty and AIDS orphans, the group started as a haven for street kids in Masaka, a town scarred by decades of conflict and disease. Today, it supports over 3,000 children, providing not just dance classes but education, healthcare, and vocational training. The documentary dives deep into this ecosystem, following a handful of performers as they prepare for international tours while grappling with personal demons, the loss of parents to HIV, the stigma of street life, the daily hustle for survival. Yet, what emerges isn't pity porn, it's power. These aren't victims, they're virtuosos. One sequence in the trailer shows a girl named Sarah, orphaned at 7, leading a troupe through a routine that fuses Bantu beats with hip-hop swagger. "Dance saved me," she says simply, her eyes fierce. "It gave me a family bigger than blood." Harry's voiceover, sparing, steady, narrates sparingly, framing the story with quiet reverence, while Meghan Sussex's producing hand ensures the kids' agency shines unfiltered. This is Archewell at its finest, unapologetic in mission, meticulous in execution. Since launching in 2020, Harry and Meghan's production company has been a bulwark against the very cynicism that now nips at its heels. Remember Heart of Invictus? That 2023 docuseries didn't just humanize wounded warriors. It dismantled the myth of the invincible veteran, earning Emmys and, well, quiet nods from therapists worldwide. Or Live to Lead, their 2022 anthology that amplified leaders from Malala to Greta Thunberg, proving that philanthropy isn't about photo ops, but provocation. Masaka Kids continues that lineage, but with a distinctly Sussex stamp: joy as resistance. Meghan Sussex, often caricatured as the woke warrior by tabloid trolls, has long championed narratives that centre black and brown excellence. Here, she elevates Ugandan youth not as exotics, but as experts in their own joy. It's no coincidence that Archewell partnered with the Masaka Kids team years ago, funding scholarships and studio builds without fanfare. This film isn't a cash grab, it's culmination. And yet, predictably, the backlash brigade is in full froth. Scour the comment sections, or avoid them for your sanity, and you'll find the usual suspects: armchair monarchists clutching pearls over taxpayer-funded exiles, newsflash Netflix foots this bill, faux feminists decrying Meghan as a grifter in Givenchy, and culture vultures sneering at white saviour tropes. One particularly venomous take, from a British broadsheet hack who's made a career of Sussex bashing, dismissed the trailer as poverty porn dressed in sequins. Excuse me while I gag. These critics, embittered relics of an empire that once plundered Uganda for cotton and compliant subjects, can't stomach success that doesn't bow to their brittle worldview. They hate it when Meghan Sussex does things that actually matter because it exposes their irrelevance. Here's a Sussex project that spotlights African ingenuity without a single Union Jack in sight. Unthinkable. Harry narrating tales of orphaned resilience rather than royal reminiscences. Heresy. Their outrage isn't about ethics, it's envy. These are the same voices who lionize Diana for her landmine walks, but crucify Meghan for maternal health advocacy. Hypocrisy so thick it could choreograph its own routine. Let's sharpen the blade. The real exploitation here isn't Archewell's, it's the haters' willful blindness to context. Uganda's youth face a crisis that, honestly, demands global spotlights, not just snide side-eyes. There are over 2.5 million children orphaned by AIDS alone, according to UNAIDS data, with Masaka's region hit the hardest. Masaka Kids Africana isn't waiting around for Western saviours. They've bootstrapped their way to stages in London, New York, and even the White House. Archewell's role? It's amplification, not appropriation. Shinegraber, who spent years embedded with the group, insists the film was co-created with the kids' input. Story beats vetted, performances unscripted. This is their rhythm, he told Variety in a pre-release interview. Harry and Meghan trusted us to let it lead. Contrast that, if you will, with the parade of celebrity Africa docs that parachute in, film suffering and flee. Think Blood Diamond glamorizing gore. The Sussexes? Well, they've been in the trenches. Meghan's 2019 SmartWorks donation drive for South African women, Harry's Centrebale charity building Lesotho schools. Their haters, meanwhile, tweet from armchairs, mistaking malice for insight. What elevates Masaka Kids? A rhythm within beyond feel-good fodder is its refusal to sanitize struggle. The trailer hints at unflinching moments, a young dancer confronting eviction, another masking hunger with high kicks. But joy isn't an afterthought, it's the engine. In one montage, the troupe erupts into Happy, Farrell's anthem reimagined with Luganda lyrics and tribal drums, their energy so infectious it could honestly power Kampala's grid. This is the Sussex ethos distilled light in darkness, not despite it. Meghan Sussex, drawing from her own biracial navigation of worlds, infuses the project with nuance, celebrating black girl magic across continents. These children remind us that rhythm is rebellion, she said in a rare on-camera aside, her voice steady as the beat. Harry's contributions ground it in empathy forged from loss. His Invictus work echoes in the kids' unbreakable stride. As December 9th approaches, expect Masaka Kids to ripple far beyond Netflix's servers. Early screenings at film fests like IDFA have drawn standing ovations, with programmers calling it a masterclass in humane filmmaking. Schools are already queuing it for curricula on global citizenship. Therapists eye it for trauma workshops. And for the kids themselves, royalties fund expansions, a new art centre in Masaka, scholarships to Juilliard equivalents. This is impact with receipts, the kind that silences cynics not with clapbacks but with change. To the haters, your bile is backstory. Every snark you sling about Meghan's latest hustle only underscores why she matters. You seethe because she builds where you break, elevating voices you'd rather mute. Harry and Meghan Sussex aren't chasing crowns anymore. They're crafting crowns of thorns into halos of harmony. A rhythm within isn't just a doc, it's defiance. It's the beat that drowns out your noise, and damn if it doesn't slap. In a world desperate for stories that stick, this one grooves. Watch the trailer. Feel the fire. December 9th can't come soon enough, because when Ugandan youth teach the globe to dance through despair, even the most jaded critic might, just might, join in.